says that Texas Tim has a legitimate contract deal for Joe that he owes Joe, where the deals he owes Joe 15%. All right? He said, so James is proposing, he says, why don't we just fucking do these deals through Texas Tim and pay the 15%? Because here's what I told Scott. I said, look, I can go to Eric Love today. I said I can go to Eric Love and say, I got information that's going to get this asshole a new trial. I said, I got recordings, I got shit that is inappropriate behavior by the DOJ. And I said, I truly think it would get him either his sentence commuted or it would get him out. And I said, but in exchange for that, Joe would have to sign over, the trademark. And we will give Joe 50% of every deal we do. And they can audit it. His attorneys can audit us. So I said, I'm willing to do that at this point, 50%. And that's even when we talked to Walter. And I said, Walter says, I think that's the smartest idea you've had. And he goes,
I was on the phone that day.
Yeah, you're on that call. So that's what I talked to Scott about. And Scott says, well, don't just do that quite yet. He says, because James's idea is we just pay Texas Tim the 15% to give to Joe, and we cut Texas Tim in on the deals. He says, that's a hell of a lot less than 50%. And he says, and nobody can stop us that way because Texas Tim has a legitimate deal. So we can all do our deals through Texas Tim. 15% comes off the top and goes right to Joe.
But Joe's attorney still sent Texas Tim cease and desist letters.
That's what, and he says, particularly if Joe gets denied, he says, who do you think is going to keep paying those Beverly Hills attorneys? He says, we talked to the Beverly Hills attorneys today on the phone. They are so convinced he's getting pardoned. He says, it's not even a question to them. And I said, he's not going to fucking get pardoned. And I'm thinking last night, I woke up, I set my alarm, got up at 2. He hadn't released it.
It was all over every media.
But, Giuliani was fucking, I guarantee you that's a guy in Vegas.
That's a guy in Vegas.